So quick backstory, I am not the best fan of yam, okay? I don't really love yam, but if I'm going to eat yam, it has to be with a very delicious stew. It has to do with a very sumptuous stew. That is why I like AGUSHI stew, and that recipe is what I'm sharing with you today. Today we are learning how to make AGUSHI or EGUSI, however you want to call it. We are learning to make that delicious stew, so stay tuned. My name is Thelma. Welcome to my kitchen. So to begin, I'm going to be taking you through our ingredients for today. So I have here some washed tomatoes. I also have here some washed onions, scotch bonnet pepper. I also have ginger and garlic, and here in the bowl is shrimp powder for flavor, and I also have my palm oil, and here is the elephant in the room. I have here my AGUSHI or powdered melon seeds and some eggs. I have here stock cube, I have here curry powder, and also I have some washed salmon and washed consomme. Consomme is just cocoyam leaves, so I've just washed and then cut it into pieces, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put my consomme on fire so that it can cook and soften. So I'm going to put this into my saucepan, then I'll add some water over it, sprinkle some salt, and allow it to boil until the leaves are well cooked. So now that I have put my consomme on fire to boil, I'm just going to use that time to prep my vegetables. So I'm going to cut up my onions, the tomatoes, cut up the vegetables that I want to blend, all the spices. I'm going to be doing that in this period. While we are at it, is this your very first time on my channel? If it is, you are very much welcome. My name is Thelma and I share videos like this. I create recipes. I also sometimes do lifestyle vlogs, so if you're interested, which you should be interested, please make sure you click on that subscribe button. Totally free to join this amazing family, okay? And if you're enjoying the video so far, please help me by clicking on the like button. Thank you. So let me just put this out there. For the tomatoes, you can choose to blend yours, okay? You can choose to blend your tomatoes fresh, but because of the texture that I'm going for, I am cutting my own up into pieces, okay? I'm dicing my tomatoes. I want it like that. I don't want to blend it. But if you are going for a smoother, completely smooth texture, then you can blend your tomatoes, okay? So now that we are pretty much done with cutting our vegetables, I'm just going to be blending my ginger, garlic, onion, and scotch bonnet pepper, okay? Okay, so now that we are done with that, we are going to be moving to our heat. So I have here my casserole on fire, and I've added in my palm oil and of course my onions. So now my onions are going to fry for a bit until it's caramelizing. In fact, this is palm oil, so you can't really see that translucentness of the onion very well, but just fry it for a bit. And then I'm going to be adding in some of my salmon so that the palm oil flavor can go into the fish. Now that my onions have fried for a while, I'm adding in my tomatoes. I'm going to give it a little bit of stir, and I'll cover it up to cook for a little bit. So about 5 minutes later, our tomato has fairly cooked, and I'm going to add in my blended spices. So that's the blended onion, ginger, garlic, and scotch bonnet pepper. I'm going to add that, cover it up for about another 5 minutes, and now that the water has fairly escaped from it, I'm going to be adding in my salt, my red cayenne pepper. I didn't show this in the beginning, but I'll also be using red cayenne pepper because I like a lot of pepper. And I also have here my shrimp powder for flavor, so I'll be adding in shrimp powder at this point, and also I'll be adding in my curry powder. After that, I'm going to be crushing my stock cube, and that's about it. I'm going to give this whole thing a little bit of stir, and know that after you add in your shrimp powder, your stew is going to begin to have a very darkish look, so just look out for that. So now is the time to add in our main ingredient for today, which is our agushi, or powdered melon seeds. So I'm going to be adding in water to the consistency that I want. Today I want my agushi stew a bit runny. I don't want the agushi too lumpy in it, so this is the texture that I'm going to go for. But per how you want the agushi in your stew, adjust the amount of water that you add to the agushi, okay? So now that I am done stirring it, I'm going to be adding in my agushi, which I have mixed. So now my stew is becoming way thicker than I want it to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use water to rinse inside the bowl I mixed the agushi, and I'm going to add it to the stew. That way I have killed two birds with one stone. So I have not wasted the agushi, and I've also gotten the texture of stew that I want. So after I left it to simmer for about 2 minutes, I'm going to be adding in my contomere, which we cooked at the beginning of this video. So I'm adding in that now and then stirring it. And to be honest, this is looking yummy already. Now this step is totally optional, but I want my agushi stew so protein filled, so I'm also going to be adding in some eggs, okay? So at this point I'm going to pour in my whisked egg, and I'm going to just turn the stew a bit for the egg to get to all the parts without necessarily breaking too much. This step is very optional though, but you can also do it. So about 5 minutes later, my stew is cooked, the egg is cooked inside very well, the agushi is cooked, everything in this stew is well cooked. And I'm just going to be adding a little bit more of the salmon, and I'm also going to be adding some onions also. I'm not going to stir it, I'm just going to cover it to simmer with the residual heat. I have 10 of the heat at this point. I just covered it to simmer with the residual heat, and our stew is ready. Like you can see, this stew is so delicious, especially with yam or plantain. You can also choose to eat it with rice, but it goes very well with yam or plantain for me. So please also try it out, okay? Thank you so much if you have watched up to this point. I hope you are going to try this recipe out. Please, if you do, tag me on social media. I'll be more than happy to see what you came up with, okay? Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up, and also share to all your friends and family, okay? Till our next time, stay safe. Bye.